Apparently all this is bad. It's tainted, apparently. Look at this. They don't want us to take none of this. And the crazy thing is, I spoke to the manager, and the manager told me that this isn't the only store. There's 4 other local stores that are exactly the same. This is madness.
America is already suffering a food shortage, which can be felt by rising costs and emptying shelves at the grocery store. But this is a cakewalk. It's going to get much worse. The writing, as they say, is on the wall. Any reasonable person can see that this is all being done deliberately. Over 10,000 cattle just died, and we are told that it was due to 100-degree weather. And in just the past 17 months, nearly 100 disasters have mysteriously befallen the American food industry. Dozens of catastrophic fires burning down food processing plants, in multiple cases caused by small aircraft crashing into them. Thousands of tons of meat destroyed. Over 2 million turkeys have been destroyed. Over 40 million chickens have been destroyed. And with the rising cost of fuel, farmers are unable to harvest their crops. And it's only just beginning.
Quick Dick McDick coming to you from Saskatchewan here today with a Quick Dick McDick Toonie, where you get $2 worth of my opinions, because 2 cents don't buy very much anymore. Today, we are talking about Justin Trudeau's Canadian ban on fertilizer. This is a goal. It is a goal that has been set by the federal Liberal government to achieve a 30% reduction in emissions from fertilizer use, namely in nitrous oxide, which is created when fertilizers either soak into water or soil. It's an emissions reduction goal. Does that make you feel better when we say it like that? It's an emissions reduction? Well, I'm here to tell you folks that nothing about what's being said here should make you feel good. It should make you feel concerned. Because whether you work in agriculture, oil and gas, mining, forestry, maybe you're a hairdresser, maybe you're an entrepreneur in the restaurant industry, maybe you're a vegan, maybe you're gluten-free, it doesn't matter. If you eat, consume food, this will affect you. Our government and this extreme climate cult that we're dealing with would have you believe as a citizen of planet Earth that we're out here slowly killing the world with fertilizer use. It's like to think we're the second act of Zoolander, but instead of having gas fights, that we're out here at Clearview having anhydrous ammonia fights with each other. Come on! Are there people out there that think we're here just having some kind of a crazy fertilizer giveaway program? Free fertilizer, come and get it. We'll fill up the box of your pickup truck, the trunk of your car, wherever. We just want to give it away. Use it wherever and however. The thing. You people need to come down out of your ivory fucking towers and visit us on a farm, and you would find out that reducing fertilizer use by increasing its effectiveness has already been happening on farms here in Canada for years and years and years. I do not know one farmer that doesn't work with one or several agronomists. Soil testing, rotations, nutrient management, chemical applications. We work with professionals to ensure that as our crop grows, we are using the least amount of inputs to get the most amount of output out of our land. Last 5 years alone, your mind would be blown if you could see the amount of technology that's come into the agriculture industry, mostly dealing with mitigating product waste. We now have equipment that is fitted with variable rate control, sectional control, and on top of that is GPS guided for precise accuracy. So with those tools, you take a detailed crop analysis from the previous year. Then you take a topographical readout of the moisture conditions on the field that you're headed back to. You take the soil sample from said field and you make a plan with your agronomist to use the absolute least amount of fertilizer that you are going to need to make that crop grow on said field. And then you apply that fertilizer using the 4R stewardship that we all know here in agriculture. The right fertilizer, at the right rate, at the right place, at the right time. This is already happening in Canada without the government getting involved. Alfalfa will naturally return nitrogen levels to the soil and help with soil health. Then we're going to take this alfalfa that we harvest off of here and feed it to cattle in the wintertime. who make manure, which last fall was spread onto this canola field and this oat field, where we used, wait for it, 30% less nitrogen fertilizer. Pretty neat, eh, Justin Trudeau? Actually, you can check out this video that I made. It's about the biodiversity of cattle and how they're an important part of farming here in Canada. Anybody with half a brain would look at this through a lens of, hey, how much food do we produce versus how much fertilizer do we use? But not Trudeau, because he doesn't have one of those things. No, we just want an absolute 30% reduction on fertilizer emissions. We already implement best practices in agriculture because it's good for our land, it's good for the environment, and it's good for our business. A 30% reduction in fertilizer use would be a $48 billion loss to the agriculture industry by 2030, and it would also make food more scarce. And the food that was available would be way more expensive than it is now, today. Can you imagine that? Listen, my toonie on this whole thing is Justin Trudeau, take your government, take your climate cult, take your drink box water bottle sort of thingy, and go sit in the corner, get out of our fucking way, and let us keep responsibly doing our job.
Story comes up, they're going to latch onto it. They've already announced in our office that once the public will be open to it, we're going to start focusing mainly on climate, climate like global warming, and like that's going to be our next I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? It's going to be our focus. Our focus was to get Trump out of office, right? Without saying it, that's what it was, right? So our next thing is going to be for climate change awareness.
What does that look like?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I have a feeling it's just going to be like constantly showing videos of like decline in ice and weather warming up and like the effects it's having on the economy and really talking about head of the network, like just
who's that? Is that Zucker?
Zucker, yeah. I imagine that he's got his council and they've all like discussed like where they think
so that's like the next
pandemic like story like that will beat to death. But that one's got longevity. You know what I mean? It's not like there's a definitive ending to the pandemic, or like it'll taper off to a point that it's not a problem anymore. Climate, I think it's going to take years, so they'll probably be able to milk that for quite a bit.
So climate change overload.
Be prepared. It's coming.
Together. If this Parliament gets it wrong, everyday Australians will suffer through inflation or worse, stagflation for decades. And instead of working together to push Klaus Schwab's World Economic Forum plan based on United Nations policies, work together instead for our country. Klaus Schwab's life by subscription, quote, is really serfdom, it's slavery. Billionaire globalist corporations will own everything: homes, factories, farms, cars, furniture. And everyday citizens will rent what they need, if their social credit score allows. The plan of the Great Reset is that you will die with nothing. To pull off this evil plan, Klaus Schwab's World Economic Forum will need to take more than just material possessions from Australians. Senators in this very chamber today who support the Great Reset